27F, senior brand strategist at a marketing agency in downtown Denver. Open plan collaboration loft, with exposed brick and fake plants everywhere. Nitro cold brew tap, like we're running a brewery instead of campaigns. Company motto is people first, but said in the same voice as please update your timesheet. Every meeting is synergy, alignment, inclusivity, blah blah. My little squad runs the third floor, like it's our kingdom. Kelsey 24F, copy lead, lives on oat milk lattes and screenshots of thirsty DMs. Jade 30F, social media director, has protect your peace tattooed in her soul. We spend mornings grabbing matcha and dissecting the patriarchy before opening a single spreadsheet. Life's good, vibes are curated, boundaries are sacred. If a client gets pushy, we label it a boundary violation. If a deadline is tight, we call it unsustainable crunch culture. Management eats it up because they're terrified of a bad Glassdoor post. Then they'll do anything to keep the vibe healthy. Enter new guy, Caleb, 35M, hired like 7 months ago as a senior analyst. Human embodiment of the word default, rotates the same 2 navy button-downs like it's a uniform, brings a sad little turkey sandwich from home every single day, never joins. Happy hour, never reacts in Slack when everyone's arguing about the newest true crime, doc. No memes, no banter, no lol. Just sits there typing, clicking, working like a spreadsheet goblin. It's honestly creepy. At first, we don't care. He's just the back-end numbers. Dude crunches data for campaigns. Lives and dashboards, not our problem. Then the comparisons start happening. Monday morning stand-up. Kelsey's explaining why the copy isn't ready. She needed a few more days to sit with the emotional resonance of the brand voice. Manager nods like he's afraid the wrong facial expression will get him reported to HR. Then Caleb speaks up. Same monotone every time. I finished the predictive models for Q3 and Q4. Also did an initial audit of competitor spend and channel mix. Sent PDFs to everyone at 6:42 a.m. Room goes dead quiet. You can hear the cold brew machine hiss like it's judging us. 2 managers' eyes practically sparkle. Wow, thanks Caleb. That's incredibly efficient. Kelsey looks like she just bit into a lemon peel. I feel my neck get hot. It's not even that he did his job. It's that he did it without whining. No mental health check-in. No can we revisit scope. No fishing for praise. He just did it. And somehow that makes the rest of us look like we're floating on pool noodles. Worst part is, he doesn't even seem aware he's doing it fast forward. Like 9 weeks resentment is simmering. Me, Kelsey, and Jade have a private group chat named CEO Girlies, because irony is our cardio. It's like 92% talking trash about Caleb Jade. Did you see him leave yesterday? Me. No, when? Jade. 6:47 p.m. Me. We literally have flexible hours. Kelsey. He's doing it on purpose. Kelsey. It's performative. Kelsey. He wants to look like the martyr, so we look lazy. Me. Toxic productivity. Me. He's setting an unhealthy standard. Jade. It's damaging the team culture, honestly. In our heads, Caleb isn't a good employee. He's a threat like an invasive species in our work-life balance ecosystem. The guy who reminds the teacher about homework. We start noticing problematic behavior, like if we're in the breakout area for almost an hour talking about Kelsey's dating app. Disasters, Caleb walks by to refill his water bottle. Doesn't say anything, doesn't really look at us, but we feel judged anyway. Kelsey whispers, "Did you see that glance?" Jade, he hates that we're bonding. Me, men always hate when women build community at work. Kelsey, he probably thinks we should be working. Jade, bootlicker energy. We're fully convinced he's silently reporting us to the spreadsheet. Gods then comes the big one, the Catalyst project, huge client. Energy drink company trying to rebrand for gamers, massive budget, massive bonuses dangling over our heads like a chew toy. Our team gets the creative lead, management promises a 12% year-end bonus. If the launch hits, money is already spent in my brain security deposit on a better apartment weekend trip to Cabo new designer bag. I absolutely do not need. We're hyped, but the workload is brutal. So we do what we always do. Delegate the grind. Caleb can handle the consumer segmentation, I tell the boss Jade. Caleb can do budget allocation and channel weighting, Kelsey. Caleb can build the slide deck skeleton. Caleb just nods like a robot accepting a new quest. Sure, when do you need it? I give him a tight deadline because I want to bounce early for a weekend thing. Friday, I say, casual, already mentally in the Uber. No pushback, no drama, not even a sigh. Friday rolls around, it's like 3:05 p.m. I'm packing my bag, already thinking about the hotel check-in. Caleb walks over to my desk. First time he's ever approached me on purpose. Hey, I finished the segmentation and the budget draft, he says, but I noticed a mismatch between the creative brief and the target demo data. I exhale hard and check my watch. What is it, Caleb? He stays calm, still monotone. The brief is aiming at Gen Z women, but current consumption data shows about 82% is male millennials. If we pivot too hard without a bridge campaign, we could alienate the existing base before gaining the new one. Projected revenue could dip around 35% in the first quarter. I just stare at him. It's the way he says it, so flat, so logical, like he's talking to a child. It feels like he's telling me I don't understand my own job. It feels like mansplaining with a pivot table. I put on my best corporate smile. We're trying to disrupt the market, Caleb. Sometimes you have to look past the numbers and trust the vision. He blinks once. Okay. Just wanted to flag it. The risk notes are in the appendix. Then he walks away like he didn't just ruin my mood. I spend the whole weekend pissed. How dare he question the strategy? He's a data guy. I'm the strategist Sunday brunch with the girls. I unload. He's trying to undermine us, I say. Kelsey stabs her pancake like it owes her money. He thinks because he knows Excel, he knows branding. It's gatekeeping, Jade says. He's using numbers to gaslight our creative intuition. We all nod, like we just cracked the Da Vinci Code decision made right there over eggs and overpriced coffee. Caleb has to go. The anti-Caleb campaign starts quiet. Nothing obvious, nothing HR can screenshot. We accidentally stop CCing him until the last possible second. Oh shoot, thought you were on the thread, Caleb. Then act annoyed when he's not caught up. We stop inviting him to the little pop-up brainstorms, the ones that happen randomly whenever the vibe strikes. Then in meetings we complain he doesn't contribute to the culture. We start auditing his communication like we're the FB. Every email he sends becomes a group chat autopsy. He's so blunt. I tell my manager in my one-on-one, no greeting, no sign-off. It feels hostile. Very cold energy. Manager does that. Worried face managers do. Yeah, he's a bit quiet. I'll talk to him. Next week, Caleb starts his emails with, "Hi everyone," like he's reading from a script, and ends with "thanks," like he's trying to cosplay as a person. We're dying laughing in CEO girlies. Look at the robot learning empathy. Firmware update installed. It's petty, but we're committed. Now things really boil over in late October. Catalyst launch is like 7 weeks out. Pressure is insane. We're behind because Kelsey's got writer's block again, and Jade is planning half her wedding on company time. Meanwhile, Caleb is quietly hauling the whole project like a mule, staying until 7:30. 8:15 every night, fixing our mistakes, cleaning up decks, reformatting reports. We absolutely butchered one morning. I roll in at like 9:10 with my cold brew. Caleb's already there, looks wrecked eyes red, shoulders tight, like he slept in a pivot table. He's redoing the entire media buy schedule from scratch. Why are you doing that? I ask, trying to sound casual. He doesn't even look at me, just keeps typing. The version Jade uploaded had the wrong dates. We would have missed the Black Friday window. I'm patching it manually. The shame hits for half a second. Then anger steamrolls it because why does he always have to be the hero? Why not just tell us like a normal teammate? You should have communicated that to the team instead of rogue fixing it. I snap. It reinforces a lack of trust. He stops typing. Finally looks up bags under his eyes like bruises. I sent a Slack message at 3:47 yesterday. He says. No one replied. I assumed you were busy, so I just fixed it. I check Slack, thinking there's no way, and yup, there it is. His message sitting there. Calm, as always. We didn't respond because we were in a private channel, roasting his shoes, and completely missed the notification. My face goes hot like full-body embarrassment. So, I do what any mature adult does. I double down. Well, you need to make sure we see it next time, I say. This lone wolf thing isn't working. He just stares for a second, Like he's deciding whether arguing is worth oxygen, then goes back to typing, lunchtime emergency CEO, girly summit, beanbags, salads, fake concern. He's gotta go, I say. He's making us look incompetent by overworking. It's a power play. Kelsey nods so hard her earrings swing. It's unsafe, she says. I feel anxious just being around him. He's so intense, like he's simmering with rage. Jade smiles because Jade has an HR buddy. I can frame it as culture fit, she says. He isn't integrating. He's creating silos. And his refusal to engage in team building is literally exclusionary. We start drafting the narrative like we're writing a press release. Caleb isn't hardworking. He has poor time management and can't delegate. Caleb isn't saving us. He's hoarding information and refusing transparent collaboration. Caleb isn't quiet. He's passive-aggressive and makes women feel unwelcome. It's honestly impressive how we can turn "guy does his job" into workplace hazard. We march into the boss's office as a united front. 3 of us, serious faces, hands folded, like we're at a funeral. We unload the buzzwords like a machine gun: psychological safety, toxic masculinity, emotional intelligence gap, team cohesion, boss is old school. Wants results, doesn't understand half the words, but he's terrified of an HR mess. He looks at our faces, and you can see the calculation. If he's really making the team uncomfortable, we have to address it, he says. The synergy of this group is vital for Catalyst. I nod solemnly, like I'm protecting national security. We can't perform at our best while walking on eggshells, I say. 2 days later, Tuesday morning, Caleb gets pulled into a room. They tell him it's restructuring and cultural misalignment. He doesn't argue, doesn't raise his voice, doesn't even look surprised. He packs his bag, wipes his laptop, leaves his badge on the desk, like it's a receipt. Doesn't say goodbye to anyone, just walks out. We watch from the glass conference room like it's a nature documentary. Kelsey high fives. Jade, ding dong, Kelsey says, grinning. The witch is dead. She laughs, and I feel this huge wave of relief. Office feels lighter, immediately. No more silent judgment aura, no more guy staying late making us feel guilty for leaving at 5. We're free that night. We go out for drinks to decompress. I clink my margarita and say, now we can actually flow. We'll hire someone who gets the vibe, I add. Maybe a girl, someone fun. Jade nods. And the bonus is still ours, she says. We just coast to the finish line. Week 1 without Caleb vibes are immaculate music. Playing softly in the office, long lunches brainstorming on beanbags. Like we're a startup in 2016. Then tiny little problems start popping up. Thursday afternoon. Kelsey leans over. Hey, where's the raw data file for the client weekly update? I blink. Caleb usually drops it in the shared drive, I say. We check the drive empty, completely cleaned out. Because of course he cleared local files when he left. Security protocol, compliance, all that. The raw data is still on the server, but none of us know how to run the SQL query to pull it. We stare at the screen like it's written in ancient runes. I shrug. Whatever. Use last week's numbers and project like a 3% lift. Nobody checks the raw feed anyway. We fudge the report. Client doesn't notice. We high five like we just won a war. See? Kelsey says we didn't need him. Week 3 without Caleb. The cracks start showing. Catalyst launches in 2 weeks, and we still have to finalize the media. Spend normally, Caleb would drop a clean spreadsheet in our lap. Every dollar mapped out based on live bid pricing, neat tabs, formulas, little notes like, don't touch this cell. Now it's on us, how hard can it be, right? Jade waves it off. It's literally just spend allocation. We open the ad manager. It looks like the cockpit of a spaceship designed by a sadist. Thousands of rows, bidding models. B-test toggles mysterious sliders with tooltips that might as well say good luck. Kelsey squints at the screen. Didn't Caleb have a script that automated all this? Yeah, I remember that. He had some little script that just did it like magic. Where's the script? I ask. Gone? Of course it's gone. We spend 3 straight days trying to do it manually. We click around like elderly people trying to change the clock on a microwave. Nothing makes sense. We start guessing. Okay, I say, trying to sound confident. 45% on TikTok, 35% on Twitch, 20% on YouTube. Feels right. We call it trusting our intuition. We say empowered a lot. Meanwhile, I'm suddenly staying late 6:05, 6:40, fixing formatting errors. Caleb would have caught instantly. The office is quiet now. Too quiet, the kind of quiet where you hear the AC breathe. It's spooky, and I hate admitting it. But I miss having someone else there. Week 5 without Caleb launch. Week pure chaos, client emails, asking for the predictive variance report. I stare at the words like they're in another language. I don't even know what that is. I Google, it turns out it's advanced statistical analysis, cool love. So I try to bluff on a Zoom call. We're prioritizing real-time agility over static prediction models, I say. In my best corporate tone, client just pauses like the buffering wheel is happening in their brain. Okay, he says slowly, but the contract stipulates a variance report before we release the second tranche of funding. Great, awesome love. Contracts I spend all night trying to build one in Excel. My eyes feel like sandpaper formulas aren't adding up tabs everywhere at like 9:20 p.m. I'm crying in the bathroom. Kelsey and Jade left hours ago. Sorry, hun, I've got a date, Kelsey said, on her way out like it was weather. I'm alone back at my desk, staring at rows of numbers that refuse to behave, and it hits me like a truck. Caleb did this every month quietly without making a production out of it, and we fired him for being weird. Launch day finally arrives. We push the button, campaign goes live. We pop champagne in the conference room like we just cured a disease. Jade screams, "We did it." Kelsey yells, "Girl power." We take selfies, post them on Instagram. Caption is something like, "Dream Team, shattering the old rules. For the first day it feels fine, then the data starts coming in." Or, it doesn't because the tracking pixels weren't installed, right? Caleb used to check the code. We are spending like $42,000 a day on ads, and we have no idea if anything is converting. No funnel, no attribution, just money. Evaporating into the internet. Client calls screaming, "Why are we showing energy drink ads to women over 60 on Facebook?" My stomach drops so hard I feel it in my knees. And suddenly I remember that risk note Caleb tried to hand me, the one about the demographics. Yeah, we ignored it. We never bridged the targeting, our intuition. Aimed us straight at the wrong audience, we're burning cash. The algorithm is confused. Conversion rate is like 1.9%. Industry baseline is around 3%. It's not a dip, it's a disaster. Full catastrophe. Boss calls us into his office. He's not even looking at the dashboard. He's looking at us and he looks older, like he aged a decade in a weekend. The client is pulling the account, he says quietly. Silence. What? I squeak, because that's all my brain can produce. They're citing gross incompetence, he says. They audited the spend. We wasted $360,000 in 3 days on dead traffic, Kelsey whispers. Tiny voice. But the creative was so good. Boss snaps back. The creative doesn't matter if nobody sees it. Then he throws a report on the table, hard, and they asked where our senior analyst was. He says, apparently their data lead knows Caleb, respects him, asked why he wasn't on the launch calls. I look down at my shoes like they're going to save me. My mouth moves before my brain approves it. We felt he wasn't a culture fit. Boss laughs dry, ugly sound, culture fit. Right. Then his face goes flat again. Because of that culture fit decision, we just lost our biggest client. That's about 38% of our annual revenue. He leans back. There will be no bonuses this year. My heart literally stops for a second. No bonus means no apartment deposit, no cabo, no stupid designer bag. I already mentally owned. Boss keeps going, like he's reading my obituary, and we have to look at downsizing. Jade starts crying, actual tears. But we worked so hard, she says. We gave everything to this project. It's not fair. Boss looks at her and doesn't blink. You fired the only person who knew how the engine worked, he says. Then he drops the line that sticks in my skull forever. You drove the car off a cliff because you didn't like the mechanic. We stumble out of his office like we're leaving a funeral. Kelsey is hyperventilating in the hallway. Jade is texting her dad, like he can fix revenue loss with a phone call. I go back to my desk, open the shared drive, and just stare, empty folders, blank space where Caleb's work used to live. I think about him, eating his sad sandwich, quietly fixing my mistakes, warning me about the demo shift. And it finally clicks. He wasn't trying to make us look bad. He was trying to keep the thing from exploding. We kicked him out anyway, and now we're the ones getting wrecked. 2 months later, the layoffs hit. Kelsey goes first. She tells everyone she's pivoting to freelance writing. She's unemployed. Jade gets shoved into a junior role with a pay cut. Wedding plans suddenly get real quiet, somehow. I'm still here, but it's hell. I'm doing Caleb's job now. Badly, I stay until like 8:10 p.m. Every night, watching SQL tutorials on YouTube, eating dinner from the vending machine like a raccoon. We hire a bunch of young Gen Z kids. They leave at 5 o'clock sharp, like it's a religious practice. I hear them whispering about me in the break room. She's so intense, one says. Another goes, yeah, toxic productivity. She kills the vibe. She never talks to anyone. She's such a boomer. I sit at my desk, staring into the blue glow of my monitor, and a LinkedIn notification pops up. Caleb started a new position, Director of Data Strategy at some place called Northbridge Tech. Partner's salary is probably double what he made here. I click his profile, same neutral headshot, same dead eyes, same button-down energy, and I just stare at it, feeling stupid in a way that burns generic LinkedIn headshot. Same blank expression, same I own one mirror vibe. I scroll down to his recent activity. He liked a post, some inspirational corporate sludge about quiet competence in a loud world. I want to scream so bad my teeth hurt, but I don't. I just open another spreadsheet and keep grinding, because if I don't finish this variance report, I'm next still 27F on paper. Feel like I'm 46. The office doesn't feel trendy anymore. The open plan isn't collaborative. It's just loud and bleak. The cold brew tap gives me heartburn. Now everything tastes like anxiety. The whole people-first culture evaporated. It's survival mode. Smiles are thinner. Nobody talks about boundaries anymore. They talk about deliverables. Management hires a consultant to audit workflow. Consultant is a woman. Ruthless aura. Sharp suit. Sharper eyes, the kind of person who could fire you with a single eyebrow raise. She sits with me for a shadowing session, watching me stumble through my Frankenstein process for ad tracking. I'm sweating, trying to explain why half my system is copied from old emails and prayer. She taps her pen like she's bored and offended. Why don't you automate this? She asks. I freeze. I don't know how, I admit. She flips through her notes. The previous analyst, Caleb, his documentation says he built a Python script for this. Where is it? I swallow. We couldn't find it after he left. She looks at me like I'm an insect in her salad. So you fired the only person with the technical keys, she says, didn't get a handover. And you've been doing this manually for 3 months? I try to grab the old excuse like it's a life raft. We had cultural differences, I mumble. It tastes like ash coming out of my mouth. She just writes something in her notebook, doesn't even react, which is worse. I go to the bathroom after splash water on my face, look in the mirror, dark circles, greasy hair, that dead-eyed look. I look like Caleb did, exhausted, drained from hauling other people's incompetence around like a backpack of rocks. Lunchtime, no more girl chat. Kelsey's gone. Jade barely talks to me because I remind her of the whole collapse. I sit alone in the break room, eating a sandwich I brought from home to save money, ham and cheese. The irony is so thick I could choke on it. 2 of the new account girls walk in. Madison and Chloe, fresh out of college, loud, confident, radiating, that main character energy I used to think I had. They glance at me for half a second, then treat me like a piece of furniture. Madison, OMG, did you see the email about the new KP is? Chloe, literally violence. Madison, asking for weekly reports is so micromanagey. Chloe, I feel like my autonomy is being threatened. Madison, right? I need space to create. Chloe, forcing me to quantify my output is such capitalist dystopia. They giggle like it's the funniest thing in the world. I feel this hot surge of rage climb up my chest. I want to stand up and scream, you are being paid to work, the metrics matter. This is not a vibe retreat, but I just take another bite of my ham sandwich and it hits me. This is exactly what Caleb must have felt, sitting there listening to us babble about peace and culture, while the ship was actively on fire. I stay quiet. I retreat into my work. I become the quiet one, the one who stays late, The one who never joins anything anymore. The one they probably have a group chat about. I check my phone under the table text from Kelsey. Hey girlie, hope you're surviving. Quick question, could you refer me for that open coordinator role? Things are tight, lol. I stare at it. Remember her high-fiving when Caleb left. Remember her ding-dong line. Remember how hard she pushed the whole narrative. I start typing. Hey, honestly, the culture here changed. It's super metrics focused now, probably not great for your creative process. Then I delete it too, petty too obvious. I type something safer. I'll see what I can do. I put the phone away and I don't do anything. I can't afford to stick my neck out for dead weight anymore. Afternoon meeting consultant presents her findings. Whole team is there, boss looks grim, like he's aged another year since breakfast. Consultant pulls up a slide, efficiency analysis big red bar chart. And there's a brutal drop right after late October. She points with a laser like she's sniping my soul. As you can see, department output declined sharply after the departure of the senior analyst. She says, room goes dead silent. She keeps talking. The remaining team attempted to absorb the workload, but lacked the technical proficiency to maintain systems. Then she looks straight at me, not at the boss, not at the room, me. This directly contributed to the catalyst failure. My stomach twists. Everyone is staring. Madison, Chloe, Jade, the boss. I want the floor to open up and eat me. Consultant clicks to the next slide like she's reading. Weather moving forward. We're implementing strict performance tracking. No more qualitative assessments. Data only. The new girls make these tiny shocked noises like they can't believe gravity exists. Consultant keeps going, and we will be rehiring for the analyst position. I've already contacted several recruiters. Boss clears his throat. Actually, he says, I reached out to Caleb last week. My head snaps up. Jade gasps like she just saw a ghost. Boss looks tired. I offered him a 25% raise and a title bump to come back. The room holds its breath. My brain starts racing. Is he coming back? Will I have to look him in the eyes? Will he be my boss? Will he remember everything? Jade's voice comes out shaky. What did he say? Boss lets out a small, defeated laugh. He laughed, he says, said he's very happy where he is, said his new team values output over optics. Boss looks around the room like he's trying not to explode, and he said, good luck with the Python scripts. That's it. Humiliation complete. I'm on my own, and nobody is coming to save me.